Landing on moons and asteroids would be insane. Introduction. We just explored why landing on planets would be a nightmare. But here's the thing, planets aren't the only deadly places in our solar system. There are moons and asteroids out there that are somehow even worse. Some are so toxic they'd kill you in seconds. Others have gravity so low you'd literally float away into space. Today, we're exploring the most insane moons and asteroids you could ever try to land on. Moon, Europa. Let's start with Europa, one of Jupiter's moons. From a distance, it looks peaceful, a beautiful icy sphere covered in smooth plains. But don't be fooled. The surface temperature is minus 220 degrees Celsius. That's colder than Antarctica. Your suit's heaters would be working overtime just to keep you from becoming a human popsicle. But the real nightmare is what's happening beneath your feet. Europa has a subsurface ocean, thousands of kilometers of liquid water hidden under a thick sheet of ice. Now you might think, water? That's not dangerous. Wrong. This ocean is under such immense pressure from Jupiter's gravity that it would crush any submersible instantly. Plus, Europa orbits so close to Jupiter that it experiences tidal forces that constantly crack and shift the ice beneath you. Imagine standing on solid ground, and suddenly massive cracks appear beneath your feet. The ice could split open at any moment, swallowing you whole. Scientists believe there might even be underwater geysers shooting hot water through these cracks, another hazard you'd never see coming. You'd be constantly on edge, never knowing if the ground beneath you would hold. Moon, Io. Now let's talk about Io, another one of Jupiter's moons. If Europa is cold, Io is the complete opposite. Io is the most volcanically active body in our entire solar system. We're talking about hundreds of active volcanoes constantly erupting. Surface temperatures can reach 1,200 degrees Celsius in volcanic regions. Your suit would literally melt. But that's just the beginning. Io's thin atmosphere is made mostly of sulfur dioxide gas, the same thing that comes out of volcano chimneys on Earth. Except on Io, it's everywhere. You'd be breathing in pure volcanic gas that would destroy your lungs immediately. The ground beneath you isn't stable either. Volcanic activity constantly reshapes the landscape. You could be standing on what looks like solid ground, and suddenly it erupts. Lava fountains shoot hundreds of kilometers into the sky. You'd need to constantly move to avoid being caught in an eruption. And here's the worst part, Jupiter's radiation belts pound Io constantly. The radiation levels are so extreme that NASA's instruments have actually been damaged by it. Any human landing there would receive a lethal dose in minutes. So you're dealing with extreme heat, toxic gas, unstable ground, and lethal radiation all at once. Io is basically hell. Moon, Titan. Let's move to Saturn's moon Titan. This one is special because it's the only moon with a thick atmosphere. You might think that's a good thing, finally, a moon we could actually explore. Wrong again. Titan's atmosphere is mostly nitrogen, which sounds okay. But the atmospheric pressure is 50% higher than Earth's. It's like being at the bottom of Earth's oceans. Plus, it's incredibly cold, minus 179 degrees Celsius. The coldest temperature ever recorded on Earth is minus 89 degrees. Titan would be nearly twice as cold. But here's what makes Titan truly terrifying: it rains methane. Not water, methane. Liquid methane falls from the sky and collects in massive lakes and seas on the surface. These aren't small ponds. Some are larger than the Great Lakes. If you fell into one of these methane seas, you wouldn't drown like in water. Instead, you'd sink and dissolve. Your suit would start breaking down. Methane would seep through, and you'd basically be chemically dissolved. The ground itself is made of frozen water, but at minus 179 degrees, ice is as hard as rock. It's dark, cold, wet, and toxic. NASA actually landed a probe there called Huygens in 2005. It only lasted 90 minutes before losing power in that nightmare environment. Asteroid, Eros. Now let's talk about asteroids. You might think asteroids would be easier than moons since they're smaller. But they come with their own set of problems. Take Eros, a near-Earth asteroid. Its gravity is so weak, about 1/200th of Earth's, that if you jumped, you'd have to actively pull yourself back down or you'd fly off into space. Literally. You could jump too high and just keep going. Forever. Into the cold void of space. Eros is also covered in boulders and jagged rocks. One wrong step and you could trip and launch yourself off the surface. Your thrusters would need to be perfectly calibrated, or you'd be drifting helplessly in space with no way to get back. Asteroids also rotate. Eros completes one full rotation every 5.27 hours. As it spins, the gravitational forces shift. Centrifugal force could literally throw you off the surface during certain parts of the day. Plus, asteroids are porous and unstable. You could punch through the surface and fall into caverns kilometers deep. Asteroid Bennu. Then there's Bennu, another asteroid that's even more dangerous. Bennu is actively ejecting particles from its surface. Why? Scientists still aren't entirely sure. But particles are constantly launching into space from this asteroid. That means if you landed there, you wouldn't just have to worry about falling off due to weak gravity, you'd have to dodge ejected particles coming at you at high speeds. It's like standing in a minefield where the mines shoot themselves at you. The mission to study Bennu has been extremely difficult. NASA's OSIRIS-REx spacecraft had to be incredibly careful. Humans landing there? Absolutely impossible with current technology. Conclusion. So there you have it. Moons and asteroids aren't safer alternatives to planets. Some are frozen death traps. Others are volcanic hellscapes. Some will literally throw you into space. The more we explore our solar system, the more we realize space doesn't want us there. Every single world we've looked at has found a new way to kill us. That's why for now, Earth remains our only home. Subscribe for more space content, and thanks for watching.